Welcome back to the Showroom Presents. You know, cancers come in all shapes and sizes, and as everyone in Buffalo who's aware of the great work at Roswell Institute, we know that. Today, we're going to hear about some fantastic improvements in treating multiple myeloma. Our guests are Dr. Ken Anderson of the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston, Mr. Terry Barter, who's battling multiple myeloma, and Terry's wife, Diane. Welcome, everyone, to the Showroom Presents.
Thank you.
Morning.
Dr. Anderson, what exactly is multiple myeloma, and who's typically diagnosed with the disease?
The multiple myeloma is a bone marrow cancer, like a leukemia. Abnormal plasma cells accumulate in the bone marrow, and because the normal blood counts are often low, patients can have fatigue or increased risk of infection or bleeding. The most sinister part of myeloma is the kidney failure or bone disease with pain or fractures that can result. Now, traditionally, myeloma has been thought of as a disease of the elderly. However, the average age of affected patients is 60 years, and we and others are diagnosing increasing numbers of patients at earlier ages. And the importance of early diagnosis here is really highlighted because only 10 or 15 years ago, we really didn't have very efficient treatments or effective treatments. Nowadays, there's been a revolution and we have multiple novel therapies, and so patients can do quite well, have a chronic illness and a good quality long-term life.
Well, that's good news to hear. Terry, when you were diagnosed with multiple myeloma, how have you been able to work with that and control its progression?
Yes, Brian. 14 years ago, when I was first diagnosed with multiple myeloma, there wasn't very many options. And they said if I did nothing, I probably had 2 years. A little scary. And then they said if I had a bone marrow transplant, I might have 5. But I would be sick for a period of time and out of work for probably a year. Then Dr. Ken Anderson told me about this new oral targeted drug called Revlimid that was coming to trial. I got on that trial, and here I am 14 years later, take 1 pill a day, doing a fantastic, having a fantastic life, seen 2 of my sons get married, 8 more grandchildren, making a total of 11. Just having a great life now.
Wow, that is fantastic, and congratulations. Now, doctor, tell me more about this new treatment. And also, I did have a question. I mean, there's so many great facilities around the country that are doing work with cancer research. I mean, Roswell right here in Buffalo, New York. I mean, how do they, share information, or do they work collaboratively around the country when there's breakthroughs and things like that to really just join forces and battle cancer and multiple myeloma in this kind of way?
Yes, we very much join forces. The Revlimid that Terry was talking about was a brand new medicine in 2001. He was the first person in the world to ever take it, so he had a lot of courage to go on the clinical trial. That clinical trial was a success, as were others with Roswell Park participating in those trials. And as a consequence, now many patients around the country and world are benefiting from Revlimid at every single stage, from the earliest diagnosis, even when myeloma returns. And so we've had Revlimid develop, we've had new classes of medicines like proteasome inhibitors, but as a medical community in myeloma, patients leading the way, but many centers of excellence working together, and Roswell Park is high on that list. We have 11 new treatments in the last decade, and patients are doing much, much better as a consequence. I'll just tell you that I'm a New England Patriots fan, and I know you have the Buffalo Bills there. And although we compete in sports, we collaborate to beat cancer.
Well, that's the way it should be. It's fantastic to hear that. Hey, Diane, now I know obviously, you must have been, you're brave in your own way, your husband being the first to take that trial with that drug and everything. But in addition to that, what resources have you used just to get a better understanding of what you're up against and how things work for you?
In the beginning, I definitely, and Terry too, we sought out support groups to kind of help us get through this. And it was great to meet other patients with multiple myeloma. And I think the important thing was to find patients that were living with multiple myeloma, and also a support group who had specialized support or separate support for caregivers, because not only are you nervous and afraid and what's going to happen with my husband, you're scared about that, but you also have your whole family to deal, that life goes on. You have your family and the rest of the world still out there, so you definitely help. And Terry and I still go to support groups now, and we feel like more it's giving back. When we walk into that support group every month, they see Terry coming and they say, oh, here's Terry, our inspiration. And they give people a lot of hope that he's still gonna, they're still gonna be around for many years.
Well, that's fantastic. Nothing better than those that have been through it encouraging others. So that's great. Dr. Anderson, where can our viewers go to get more information about multiple myeloma and frankly, everything that's being done here?
Well, you can clearly go to Centers of Excellence, Roswell Park. Dr. Philip McCarthy is a world expert at myeloma there. Obviously, patients can go to the web. And I'll mention the International Myeloma Foundation, the Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation, or Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, among others that have excellent websites, wonderful source of information.
All right. Well, Terry and Diane, thank you for sharing your story and continue encouraging others and do well with your family. And Dr. Anderson, thank you too for joining us today on the Showroom Presents.
Thank you so much.
You call that showing off?
How about the dazzling diamond deals we're showing off at the Showroom on Union? Diamond engagement rings.
Diamond band.
Diamond anniversary.
Diamond fashion.
Diamonds, and more diamonds.
All at a fraction of the pricey stores.
And buy with confidence, because all Showroom diamonds will come with a Gem Lab certificate as requested, guaranteeing natural diamonds of value. Don't forget, we feature GIA certified diamonds.
Showing off great diamonds and great deals every day.
At Airport Plaza Jewelers, the Showroom on Union.